Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel, and today we got the old but gold Children of Morta. Let's speak about it a little bit, but before you enter my review, don't forget to comment, subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. Or you don't, if you don't like the review. Thank you. Okay, so Children of Morta is the game that thoroughly surprised me. The limited looks I have seen made me expect something in the vein of Hyper Light Differ or even a Zelda-esque, but it's nothing like either. Nothing either. Instead, Children of Morta is a roguelite action RPG that feels like a more narrative-focused gauntlet with a little bit of Diablo mixed in. As various members of the Bergsons family, you attempt to discover the source of an evil corruption that is spreading throughout the land and treating your way of life. It's a heartfelt, satisfying and challenging adventure whose scene is dulled slightly by some performance issues. Saying too much about the story will do Children of Morta a disservice, but it's touching and delighted in brief vignettes between dangerous runs. You are given brief glimpse into the lives of the Bergsons and the relationship between different individuals in the family. The game begins with a brief prologue-like section that teaches you the basic roll, jump, dodge with the B button while attacking with the Y button. You can also use the right analog stick to attack, which works well with the two ranged characters. The first person you meet is John, who fights with a sword and shield, but he is quickly joined by Linda, an archer who fire arrows and move at the same time. You gradually unlock 4 other characters and each one plays quite differently. Underway, the Bergson house is a chamber with a giant crystal surrounded by 3 gateways. The grandmother activities, the crystals and the uses it brings to back to the house when your life meter runs out, which gives narrative purpose to the roguelite elements of the game. Each gateway takes you to a world that contains 2 or 3 areas, which each those divided into 3 or 4 floors. The overall objective is fairly straightforward. You take your chosen character from the stretching floor to the end, where a boss encounter waits. Defeating all the bosses in a given area releases a guardian spirit of swords that sheds light of the history of corruption and points you towards your next objective. Defeating enemies in the dungeons gives you experience points and gold drops as you might expect, but charms and reliefs are also present and can power up for that run, making it easier to reach and defeat the end of boss. Leading up gives you skill points that allow you to fill out a skill tree for each character that grant you damage dealing and control abilities. But a real near peak is that every few levels you open up a bonus that applies to every family member. For example, when Linda reaches the level 4, every Bergson receives a permanent boost to their movement speed. This mechanics encourages you to play as different family members. That's uncovered. The stake is that if you use one character too many times, they begin to suffer the effects of corruption, which reduce their maximum health by percentage and need to rest by sitting out a few rounds. Gold can be used to purchase health, damage, speed, and other upgrades from the band The Blacksmith. More upgrades become available as you find certain artifacts and documents in the dungeon, so exploring each floor thoroughly and carefully is a good strategy early on while you're weaker and not flush with the cash. Other bonuses can be purchased as well, such as boost to experience gained and how often gemstones are dropped. Gemstones function as a type of currency within the dungeons themselves. They can be used to open locked chests to exchange the various items, like the aforementioned relics with charms and a shopkeeper who randomly appears. The floor of each dungeon are randomly generated and contain different enemies and traps that change when you move to a new world. The pixel art of Children of Morta is absolutely gorgeous, especially in the Bergson house. Incredibly many details and effective use of color make playing the game visual delight. Additionally, the excellent voice work of the narrator breathes even more life into the experience. There are instances where the simplicity of the graphics can make recognizing traps and other dungeons elements a little tricky. However, in terms of audio, the music during the final boss encounter completely bugged out for me, which meant that I missed out on all of the ending narration and theme. It's actually a spectacular sequence and I was pretty bummed that it was pretty ruined by audio glitch, so hopefully that gets fixed before a random launch. Child of Morta is one of the most wonderful surprises of the year, of the pandemic year, and it's in need to be our radar. The progression system and unlochables mean that even an unsuccessful 20-minute run will yield tangible growth to make the next run easier. Those who aren't wholly into roguelites, like me, will still enjoy the variety actions of the gameplay. Better still, it's not impossible to be captivated by Bergsons family, struggle for survival, and togetherness against a formidable evil. The two-player co-op option is the cherry on the top of this exclusive craft experience, however you choose to go through it. Child of Morta is absolutely must play. About the pros: beautiful park art style, heartfelt story about family and struggle, two-player co-op, unique and varied progression system. About the cons: well, the sleep early difficulty curve, slow down when high numbers enemies on the screen, I mean like the FPS is going down, audio bug during the final boss and ending. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Peace.